Hello students, Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor at College of the Desert. Today we have a sequence and I'm going to ask you to possibly get a blanket or a towel, your strap, and two blocks. Just come in with a beautiful mindset to practice today, a well-rounded flow. The theme for our sequence today is self-awareness. And I want to say that self-awareness is not an easy tool and quality to develop. It is really about looking within, reflecting within, seeing yourself clearly and objectively. And sometimes that can be difficult to do, to look within and seeing areas of your life that can possibly be improved upon. And when I say that, we sometimes have a core set of values and beliefs, and sometimes our behavior and emotions are not in line with that. And so often we have to reflect throughout our day and be aware, have self-awareness of how we're treating ourselves, of how we're treating others. And we stray from that from time to time, and we have to come back, we have to reflect, we have to come within, we have to try and be aware, okay? And so whenever I'm on my mat, this is an example of truly being present through my postures and my breath to cultivate that self-awareness and lead me to a better day of how I treat myself and how I treat others. So we will constantly be aware throughout our practice today and kind of cultivate self-awareness, because this is our time. This is our time to work on ourselves, to work within. Let's start with 2 cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. As always, I start kind of Pada Bandha in my feet in Tadasana. I root into the ground, draw energy into the ground to nourish my body, my mind, and my spirit. 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We're going to start at the edge of the mat here. And the beginning of this sequence really, to me, nourishes self-awareness. We're going to kind of wake up our entire body. Rooting through the ground, awaken those arches. Inhale, draw those arms up, energy out the fingertips. Clasp around the right wrist with the left hand. I like to take my thumb and index finger together of my right hand and shift now over to the left, kind of opening that right side body, a little lateral flexion. Open that right side body. I continue to kind of try to draw my right hip forward just a bit and just open that right side body. Beautiful. Inhale, rise, a little lateral flexion. Take my right hand and clasp around the left wrist. I have my head in line with my arms. I'm going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale as I shift now over to the right. Beautiful. Opening that side body. I kind of draw that left shoulder back and in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come into forward fold. We'll do a dynamic forward fold, heel and toe, heel and toe. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins or the thighs or the ground if we're flexible enough, gaze forward and down. Framing the feet, we're going to step back into Phalakasana, active plank. Hands under the shoulders, heels over the balls of the feet, belly button to the spine, active legs, active shoulders, active core. A little scapula push-ups to work on stability of the shoulders. On the inhale, we're going to drop the chest forward. You can feel the shoulder blades moving towards one another, but the belly button drops a little bit. On the exhale, we're going to dome the upper back. Shoulders move away. Inhale, chest forward, shoulder blades, they come towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Inhale, drop the chest, shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Inhale, drop the chest forward, shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Beautiful. And come into just a little plank here. A little reverse pigeon. We're going to draw that right leg forward. So we have the heel, outer edge of the foot, in line with the right hip, and we're going to exhale, lower the right hip to the ground. We'll stay here one breath cycle. Transition, come back to plank. Let's draw that left foot up and over. Press outer edge of the left foot, lower the left hip to the ground. We'll stay here one breath cycle. Transition to plank. Lower to the knees. We're in tabletop here. I like to tuck the toes. Hands under the shoulders, little dynamic exploration. Inhale, look up, drop the belly. Exhale, push into the ground, belly button to the spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, look up, tailbone is out. Exhale, tailbone is in, round the back. Beautiful. Come up here onto the knees here. And we're going to tuck those toes. We're going to open up the mid-thoracic. So let's interlace the fingers. Hands behind the head, thumbs coming down the neck here. And let's drop the right elbow to the ground, towards the ground. And draw that left elbow up. Inhale, rise. On the exhale, drop the left elbow towards the ground, right elbow up. Opening the upper back, inhale, rise. Exhale, draw the right elbow down, left elbow up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, draw the left elbow down, right elbow up. Inhale, rise. Open the chest, open the heart. Gently release. Beautiful. Come back to our tabletop. Walk the hands forward just a few inches. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog. Let's do a little dynamic heel and toe, bicycle it out. Beautiful. Into a static hold here. Press through the palms that are shoulder width apart. Spread those fingers. Draw the shoulder blades down the back ribs. Firm those thighs. Take the tailbone back and down. The feet are hip width apart, possibly a little bit wider if we need it. And we're just going to simply inhale, exhale through the nose. Reflect within self-awareness. And transition, we're going to walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or the ground. Exhale, come into forward fold, come more to the midfoot. Let's keep the hips over the ankles and the knees. Simply breathe into the hamstrings. Gently bend the knees. We're going to swan dive up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. We kind of work through the whole body on that, and we're going to do that again. Cultivating self-awareness. Developing a kind, beautiful mindset. rooting through the ground. Inhale, draw those arms up. Clasping around the right wrist, take the thumb and index finger together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, shift over to the left. Draw that right shoulder blade kind of back and in. Open that side body. Inhale, rise. Clasp around the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, shift now over. Draw that left shoulder blade kind of back and in. Open that side body. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come into forward fold. If we need to widen the feet and bend the knees, we can to help us. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands, shins, thighs, or ground. Framing the feet, step back into plank. This is body awareness here, a little scapula push-up here. It's nice and easy, shoulder stability. Inhale, we draw the chest and belly button forward. Feel the shoulder blades move towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Shoulder blades move away. Inhale, drop the chest, shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Inhale, chest forward, shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, dome the upper back. Inhale. Exhale. Dome the upper back. Come into just Phalakasana. Draw that right foot up to about hip level. Press outer edge of the right foot. Lower the right hip towards the ground. Come back to plank. Draw that left foot. It's almost a little reverse pigeon, we call this. Left foot in line with the left hip. Press outer edge of the left foot. Lower the left hip to the ground. Come up into plank. Transition to plank. Active core, active leg, shoulders. Gently lower to the knees, tuck the toes. Tabletop. Dynamic exploration, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, look up, belly button drops. Exhale, shoulders move away, round the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. Press into the ground. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. Neutral tabletop here. Coming onto the knees, I'm still tucking my toes as I explore dynamic camel here. Let's interlace the fingers. Thumbs kind of down the neck here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, kind of drop the right elbow towards the ground. Lift that left elbow towards the ceiling. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop the left elbow just a bit. Right elbow up. Dynamic upper back exploration. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop the right elbow, left elbow up. Inhale, rise. Adjust now to the left. Inhale, rise. Simply open the chest, open the heart, tilt those elbows up, look up, upper spine through the heart. Inhale, rise. Come back to tabletop. Walk the hands forward a few inches, lead with those hips. Come into down dog, a little heel toe exploration, dynamic. Self-awareness as we press into the palms, draw length into the spine. Inhale, exhale through the nose, calm the mind. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. transition, we're going to walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into forward fold. Let's take the tops of the hands and press them into the ground. I just want to wake up our wrists a little bit. So my hands are shoulder width apart, and I'm just kind of rocking side to side. My fingers are facing me here. Now my fingers come towards one another. And now my fingers move away from one another. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up, open the chest, open the heart, self-awareness. Exhale, heart-centered. Beautiful. As we come to the center of the mat, before we set our intention, I'd like to share a little kind of quote I was thinking about with you guys. Yoga is the artwork of self-awareness to the body, the mind, and the spirit. So that's what we're doing. We're almost practicing art with our body in stillness, cultivating this self-awareness, which is just a beautiful tool to have. As we close our eyes and lower our head to our fingertips, I want you to take a moment and set your own personal, meaningful intention for this practice right now. Honor this intention with our efforts, our breath, and positive thoughts. Gently look up. Beautiful. As I developed the sequence, I actually thought of postures that really cultivated my self-awareness. So the postures that I chose are going to shine through. There's going to be beginning to more advanced areas of these postures. Do the best that you can. Awareness is listening to where you are in the postures as well. Let's do a cleansing breath together first. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. In Tadasana, activating those arches, energy up those legs. Draw the palms together up to the chest, lift those elbows up. Add a little bit of a hop into our 5-point star. This is where we rotate those big toes in. Press outer edges of the feet. I want you to activate those intrinsic muscles of the feet. Clasp those hands behind. I want you to draw the shoulder blades towards one another, working on shoulder flexibility. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Continue to press outer edges of the feet, root under the big toe mound, and feel this stretch in the hamstrings. Gently release, hands under the shoulders. I'm going to mirror you, so we're doing it along. You're going to turn your right foot here, quarter turn, and we're going to extend your left leg. We're going to rock it forward and back for a little ankle mobility here into a form of Skandasana. Now I'm going to lower the right heel to the ground, and I'm going to extend the toes up. And I'm coming into Skandasana. Elbow on the inside. Beautiful groin stretch. Possibly I'm going to grow the pose as I extend that right arm and draw that left arm up. I like to look up. Breathe into self-awareness. Honor my intention. Gently release. I'm going to adjust here as I turn your right foot here, and you're going to come into low lunge. I come up high and I come into the pose. 3 breath cycles as we inhale, exhale through the nose, root into the ground, draw length into the spine. Breathe into that back hip. Gently release. Come into a little runner's pose here. Back leg is straight. Adjust those hands. Come forward, hands under the shoulders, a little concave back, tailbone out and back. Quarter turn this left foot. And we're going to extend that right leg and rock it forward and back. My heel is lifted a bit in this left foot, and I'm really at first awakening my adductors, those inner thighs. And now I'm going to lower the heel to the ground, elbow inside that left knee here, and I feel it more in my hamstrings as my extended leg, the toes are up. Beautiful Skandasana. And I'm going to grow the pose now as I extend that right arm and left arm up. Beautiful. And actually, we got to do this side because I forgot to extend it here. So drop the left arm and the right arm up. Beautiful. We did evenly both sides. Let's quarter turn here until runner's pose. We're going to lower the right knee to the ground. Come up vertical. Inhale, draw those arms up. Create energy in the spine. Root into the ground with both feet. Draw length. Beautiful. Lower the hands. Connect to runner's pose. Back leg straight. Firm that front hip. Walk those hands. Come in, forward back into our Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. This is where we're going to walk those hands back. For some of us, I'm going to take a yogi grip with the thumb and index fingers around my big toes and work on drawing my head through the legs. Continue to breathe into those hamstrings. Body awareness. Gently rise, hands under the shoulders. Belly button to the spine. Let's have the palms up. We're going to inhale, lengthen, belly button to the spine, back flat, and that really strengthens, hands heart center, that really strengthens the back. We're going to adjust this right foot. If some of you are beginners and you want to take a block on the inside of the foot, you can, okay, if that is going to help you. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Heel intersects with my back heel or my back arch. Knee of that right knee goes towards that pinky toe, and I want to draw the sitting bone of the front leg kind of back and in. Virabhadrasana 2, extend those arms. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Gaze over the right hand. Press that left back thigh back. And again, knee tracks over the pinky toe. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Isometric hold. Cultivating strength. Growing the pose to extended angle. Let's draw the elbow inside the knee. 6 o'clock arms for many of us. Some of us, though, we're going to grow the pose. And we're going to continue from the back foot through the hips. Rotate that pinky in and draw the top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. Beautiful extended angle. Some of you, intermediate or advanced, might take the left hand by that sacrum and come into a bind here, where we clasp the hands, gaze over the left shoulder. Gently release. Turn that palm up, come into a reverse warrior two. Back arm drops. We open that side body. Gently release. Cleansing breath. Self-awareness. Adjust this left foot 90 degrees. Draw that sitting bone back and in. Heel to heel or heel to arch. Track that left knee over towards the pinky toe. Press that back thigh back. And now gaze over the left hand and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Isometric hold. Balance. Strength. Growing the pose. Draw that elbow in, 6 o'clock arms. Some of you will continue to grow the pose, top ribs back, bottom ribs forward, rotate that pinky in. Some of you may take the right hand to the hip, draw the left arm underneath, come into the bind. Gently release. Reverse, turn that palm up. Open that side body. Drop the back arm. Gently release. 5-point star. Cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Hands on the lower back here, top of the hips. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another, elbows towards one another. Rotate those big toes in slightly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Hands under the shoulders. Right, let's draw the left hand in and draw that right arm up. Beautiful spinal twist. Some of you might take the right hand to the left hip and gaze over the right shoulder. Gently release. Draw that right hand down and that left arm up. Left hand by the right hip. And take that right hand, for some of us, to the left ankle. Gaze over the left shoulder. Gently release. Hands under the shoulders, belly button to the spine. Let's draw the inhale back flat. Root and rise. Heel toe it in. Cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. A little body awareness. Let's take our blocks out. And let's take them. Let's come onto our stomachs. And let's take our blocks kind of in line where like a bra strap would be or heart rate monitor for the men. And let's press into the blocks. Notice that my shoulders are kind of in line with my elbows. I want my feet about hip width apart, and I'm pressing through the tops of my feet. And we're going to come explore self-awareness in upward facing dog. So I'm pressing through my feet, pressing into the blocks, and I'm going to lift up. I'm going to draw my pelvis forward and explore Urdhva Mukha. Urdhva Mukha, upwards facing dog. Tailbone towards my knees, broaden the collarbones, pelvis forward, active thighs, active legs. We'll stay here several breaths. Gently release. Beautiful upwards facing to dog. I love it. Let's take the big toes touching. We're going to widen the knees. We're going to send those hips back into child's pose. We're going to press through the blocks. We're going to rest the forehead onto the ground. Draw length in the spine. Wide-legged child's pose. Continue to press into the blocks. Lengthen the spine, hips over the heels. Cultivating self-awareness, reflecting within. Nourishing the body, the mind, and the spirit. Beautiful. Gently come up. We'll take our blocks about shoulder width apart. We're going to explore wherever we are. We have different levels. We're going to explore down dog to plank, modified chaturanga to up dog, or chaturanga. Okay. Heels of the hands on the blocks. We're going to lift up into Adho Mukha down dog. Beautiful. Press into the blocks, press through the palms. Draw length in the spine. Beautiful. Transition to Phalakasana here. In plank, right? Shoulders over the hands. On the exhale, we're going to come forward. Notice my shoulders are in line with those elbows. Inhale, up dog. Draw the pelvis forward. Broaden the collarbones. Tailbone towards the knees. Active legs, thighs off the ground, gaze up. Exhale, come into down dog. Beautiful. Stay here several breaths, tailbone back and down. Transition, walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into forward fold. Some more to the midfoot, sternum and chest close to the shins. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up, open the chest, open the heart, self-awareness. Exhale, heart-centered. I love it. I love it. Okay, we're going to move the blocks. And on this one, We're going to work on a Uttanasana with a bind. The binds are generally a little bit more intermediate and advanced. Really, they are, especially as we progress in the sequence. But I do have students that take this class numerous times and take yoga teacher training. This is what keeps me on my mat, is the continual practice and learning new things. Although sometimes the simple postures are just my favorite, simple and profound. So I take my yoga strap and I'm just going to simply bend this in half here. Do you see that? And we're going to start into a little forward fold. Let's do our feet about hip width apart here. And let's keep the strap down here. Feet are hip width apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to gently bend the left leg here. And we're going to take the strap with the left hand and take it towards the sacrum. If we can, we're going to take the right hand and either clasp the strap or the hand and then gaze over the right shoulder. Uttanasana, forward fold with a bind. And binds often kind of unravel us a little bit, unravel us within. Gently release. That's what they do. When I come into a bind, it's really a lot of body awareness. And we're going to gently bend this right leg. And we're going to take the strap with our right hand to the sacrum. And now take the left hand, clasp a hold of the hand, and now gaze over the left shoulder. Beautiful. Gently release. Come into a deep forward fold. Let's stay here several breath cycles. Gently bend the knees. Swan dive up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Coming to the backs of our mat here. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. We'll cultivate self-awareness here. We're going to inhale, draw those arms up. Fingertips together, head in line with the arms. And let's just do a little bit of a back bend here. Open the chest, open the heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down. We're coming into down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, draw that left leg up about hip level. Exhale, draw the left knee towards the chest, towards the nose. Place the left foot next to the left hand. Lower the back knee to the ground, low lunge. Let's draw the palms together, thumb and index. Come into beautiful low lunge. Press into the ground. Length in the spine. We'll stay here several breath cycles. Gently release. We're going to frame the foot. Draw the back knee under the hip and let's tuck that back toe. Come up here. Left hand on the hip, right arm up. On the exhale, we're going to draw the right elbow and shoulder outside of the left knee. This is challenging, right? And I don't want to just rest on there. I want to kind of revolve the back torso. The next phase is we're going to come into prayer squat. Not prayer squat, but prayer twist. The next phase is some of us are going to extend those arms. When we can get into this and just leverage this torso, we can work on the next phase where we extend that back leg. And again, the back leg is straight. I'm working on extending the torso, rotating the pinky in. Taking the left hand outside the right hip. Just a couple of us. This is the advanced. Most of us are staying in the other routes. This is the advanced. I'm coming into a bind. Release. Left hand on the hip, transition to crescent moon. Come onto the pinky toe of the back leg straight, front leg parallel into the ground. Find your drishti, find your gaze. Transition into down dog. Beautiful. Tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Transition, let's walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into forward fold. Gently bend the knees. Swan dive up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Face this way to face the camera a little bit. Great job today. Great job. These postures truly are self-awareness. Some of my favorites, actually. Let's start with the feet hip width apart. We're going to inhale, draw those arms up. Head in line with the arms. Let's open the chest, open the heart. As we explore that back bend. Beautiful. Swan dive down. Come into down dog pose. Draw that right leg up to hip level. Draw the right knee to the chest, to the nose. Right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground. Let's draw the thumb and index together. Come into low lunge. Frame the foot. Draw the back knee under the hip. Tuck those toes. Come up. Beautiful. Let's take the right hand on the hip. Let's draw that left arm up. On the exhale, let's work on taking the left elbow outside of the right knee. This is not easy. Beautiful. Eventually, we come to this prayer twist. Eventually, we work on lowering the left hand to the ground, right arm up. And eventually, a few of us work on extending that back leg, rotating, growing the pose, leveraging the torso, rotating that pinky in. You feel that left hip rotating inward. Only a couple of us may be able to go add the next thing. Right hand outside the left hip, and we explore the bind. Only a few of us. Gently release. Right hand on the hip. Gaze up, transition. Crescent moon. Back leg straight, come onto the pinky toe. Front leg parallel to the ground. Framing the feet. Transition into down dog. Draw the right palm in just a few inches. We're going to flip the dog here. So we draw the right palm just a few inches. We're going to press outer edge of that right foot. And we're going to take that left leg back. Sometimes I kind of bend, draw my elbow in, and then I press through the left foot, press outer edge of the right foot, come into a beautiful back extension as I flip the dog. Inhale, exhale through the nose. 2 more breath cycles. Beautiful. Transition back to down dog. Pedal it out just a bit. Get a little bit more. We're going to draw that left hand down just a bit. A few inches. Press outer edge of the left foot. And we're going to take that right foot back. And I like to kind of bend and then extend. Press through the right foot. Press outer edge of the left foot. Open the chest. Open the heart. Beautiful. Flip the dog here. Transition back. Come back to down dog. Come into plank. Good. Neutralize the spine a little bit. Belly button to the spine. Gently lower onto the back. Just doing another little active back bend. So first we're going to rest the forehead onto the ground. Let's regenerate here. I'm going to draw those hands down my back. Down onto the ground. And then take the tops of the hands to the ground. And I want to draw the feet together and touching as we prepare for Salabhasana. So as I press my palms into the ground, I draw my shoulder blades down the back ribs. I'm going to press into the palms and leverage. I'm going to use my back muscles to peel the chest off the ground, inner spiral the backs of the thighs, continue to peel my chest off the ground, and a little bit of a back strengthening. Salabhasana, locust pose. We'll stay here several breaths. Press into the palms. Back pulls the chest off the ground. Inner thighs spiral back. Shoulder blades down the back ribs. Gently release. Beautiful. Transitioning here, we're going to get our blankets out, blankets or a towel, as we prepare in Halasana, plow pose. This is a pose that's really about body awareness. I take the folded edge of the mat, of my blanket, and actually, I draw it here. I draw it on the outer edge because it's going to protect my cervical vertebrae, and I'm going to go this way. There. So folded edge is going to go this way because I'm going to come into Halasana this way. The folded edge is just a little bit cleaner. For those of you that have practiced Halasana a lot, you might not need a blanket, but it's just something I do to kind of encourage and protect the cervical vertebrae just a bit. Anytime you feel discomfort in the neck, just come out of the pose. But the ancient yogis use this pose as a way to, it's just good for you. It's good for the thyroid. It's good to move the spine in a different direction, shift the blood away from the heart. And so I have the blanket protecting the bottom third of my vertebrae. It's just giving me a little inch of a lift here. And I'm going to draw, we're going to do this together. We're going to draw, well, let me demonstrate real quick. Draw my knees to my chest. I'm going to press through my palms and draw the legs back. See how I point, press the tops of my feet into the ground, and I'm going to draw length in the spine, eventually maybe clasping my hands and continue to draw the sitting bones towards the ceiling. Now I'm going to roll out and just do it with you guys here. Good. So let's make sure edge of the mat. Good. Protecting the bottom third of the vertebrae. Press through those palms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw the legs over. Press through the tops of the feet, sitting bones to the ceiling. If you can, clasp, interlace the fingers. Press outer edges of the hands. Draw length, sternum towards the chin, sitting bones to the ceiling as we continue to draw length in the spine. Sternum towards the chin. Lengthen the spine. Gently release. Gently lower. One vertebrae at a time. We're going to sit up and kind of come into a little forward flexion here. Neutralizing the spine just a bit. So we're going to root through the sitting bones, draw the pelvis forward. And for some of us who have a hard time coming forward, we widen the feet, we might utilize a strap and help us come forward. Some of us are flexible enough, we might take, I like to take a block, I actually will take 2 blocks, and I draw outer edges of my feet back, and it engages my quadriceps and helps me come forward. So we just did Halasana. We went one direction. Let's go another one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Reach 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches farther. And then nestle down. We're going to hold for a while. Longer exhales. Inhale and rise. Reach up, draw length, neutralize the spine just a bit. Gently release. It's okay to kind of, if you want to keep your blanket here and rest the head, we're gonna first, it's okay to we'll rest our head onto the blanket if you still have it. We're gonna draw the knees to the chest, clasp around the shins, just create length as we think about drawing the tailbone towards the ground. Draw both knees over to the right, and I want to stack the knees over one another. Press the left hand down, draw the left shoulder to the ground. And the other side. Drop both knees over to the left. Draw the right arm down, right shoulder to the ground. Release. Clasp around the shins. Tailbone towards the ground. Gently let everything go. Let's prepare for our Shavasana here. Let everything go. Relax the palms, relax the legs. Maybe do one last long stretch where you take the arms and legs, they move in opposite directions, almost reset the spine. Truly let everything go. Sometimes I nestle the shoulders into the mat, relaxing the palms, relaxing the legs. Coming into our beautiful Shavasana. Preparing to come out of the Shavasana, little movements in your fingers and your toes. Gently bend the knees. Right arm over the head. Use the left hand to press yourself up. Draw those arms up. Come in heart-centered. The beautiful sequence as we worked on cultivating self-awareness within ourselves. It's not easy to really look within and look at areas sometimes how we can respond kinder to ourselves and others. This form of self-evaluation, but yoga is a beautiful tool for this. We're going to have days that we slip up and we have to come back, we have to keep working, we have to work within ourselves. And this is a gift that yoga gives me. It's true self-awareness. And it's not easy. It's challenging to look within. Thank you for sharing this beautiful practice with me. Reflect back on our intention today as we lower our head to our fingertips. Gently look up. Live our intention. Cultivate self-awareness. Spread the joy. Namaste.